Welcome to a special midweek edition of Skyscope. Normally we bring you deep sky challenges every Monday, but sometimes the sky gives us something too beautiful, too unique, and too fleeting to wait. Tonight is one of those nights. It's June 11th, and the full moon is rising low on the horizon, the so-called strawberry moon.
That's right.
In this short extra episode, we'll explore what makes this full moon so special, how and when to observe it, and why even seasoned astronomers shouldn't overlook this moment of natural theater.
It really is something special this year.
So grab a pair of binoculars, or just your curiosity, and join us under the rising moon.
This is Skyscope, challenging targets, real observing.
Okay, so, strawberry moon. It sounds, well, fruity.
The name actually has nothing to do with the moon looking like a strawberry.
Right, I figured that might be the case. So where does it come from?
Well, it comes from some Native American traditions, specifically the Algonquin tribes. For them, this full moon signaled the peak time for harvesting wild strawberries.
Ah, okay. So it's seasonal, connecting the sky to what's happening on Earth.
Exactly. It's a really nice link between, the celestial cycles and the natural rhythms down here.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But even though the name isn't about color, there is talk about it potentially looking different this year, maybe warmer, reddish even.
Yes, that's definitely possible. And it happens for a different reason. It's all about the atmosphere.
Okay.
When the moon is really low on the horizon, like it will be when it rises tonight, its light has to travel through much more of Earth's atmosphere to reach us.
Right, a thicker slice of air.
Precisely. And that thick air scatters away the shorter, bluer wavelengths of light more effectively,
Leaving the longer, redder wavelengths to get through.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's the exact same reason sunsets and sunrises look red or orange. Atmospheric scattering.
And the thinking is that this effect could be, well, amplified tonight.
Yeah.
More dramatic.
Potentially, yes, because of how low this particular full moon will be. Which brings us to why 2025, and specifically this June full moon, is astronomically quite interesting.
Okay, yeah, let's get into that. What's the big deal astronomically?
So the key thing is something called the major lunar standstill.
Lunar standstill. Sounds intriguing.
It is. It's a long cycle, takes about 18.6 years to complete. And during certain points in this cycle, the moon's path across the sky reaches its most extreme northern and southern points. Basically, how high or low it rises and sets changes over this long period.
18.6 years. That's quite a cycle. And we're in a specific phase of that right now.
We are. We're in a phase where the moon's path is hitting those extreme lows, particularly for the full moon near the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere.
Oh, okay. So the strawberry moon happens to fall right during that extreme low point in the big cycle.
Exactly. And the result is that this full moon on June 11th, 2025, will be the lowest rising full moon of the entire year for observers up here in the northern hemisphere.
The lowest of the year. Okay, that's the key. So visually, what does that mean for someone looking up tonight?
It means it's going to rise and then just kind of skim along the horizon, really hug it closely.
Wow.
And when it's that low, you might also notice it looks unusually large.
The moon illusion.
That's the one. It's a fascinating optical illusion. Your brain compares the low-hanging moon to familiar objects on the horizon, trees, buildings, hills, and perceives it as being much bigger than when it's high overhead with nothing to compare it to.
So a low, potentially extra reddish, possibly giant-looking moon creeping along the horizon. That does sound like natural theater.
It really can be quite stunning.
Okay, practicalities then. What about timing, especially for listeners, say, in Europe?
Right. So for places like Germany, Central European summertime, you'll want to look for moonrise around 21.25 CEST. That's roughly 9.25 p.m. It's conveniently just after sunset, which is perfect for catching it low and maybe colorful.
In direction. Where should people look?
Look towards the southeast horizon. That's where it'll be appearing.
Okay, southeast. And what if you're in a city? Lots of buildings, trees.
Yeah. City observing can be tricky for low objects. The best advice is to try and find an elevated spot, a rooftop bar maybe, or a balcony facing southeast, or even just a nearby park or hill that gives you a clearer line of sight over obstructions.
Good tip. Do you need any special equipment? Telescope, binoculars.
Honestly, no. Your eyes are perfectly capable of enjoying a full moonrise. It'll be big and bright.
Okay.
But if you do have binoculars, even small ones, they can really enhance the view. You start to see some texture on the surface, maybe some larger craters near the edge.
Yeah, it gives it a bit more depth.
It does. If you have a small telescope, Use a low-power eyepiece, one with a wide field of view, so you can see the whole moon disk comfortably but still pick out some features.
Nice. And what about photographers?
Yes. For photography, a telephoto lens is definitely helpful. Something in the, say, 200 millimeter to 600 millimeter range gives you good framing, lets you make the moon a decent size in your picture, especially when it's near the horizon with maybe some landscape elements.
Right, get that sense of scale.
Exactly. And definitely use a tripod. The moon is bright, but especially if you're using a long lens, camera shake is the enemy. A remote shutter release or using the camera's timer helps too.
Makes sense. Any tips for capturing the color?
Well, first, hope the atmospheric conditions cooperate. But yeah, maybe play with your camera's white balance setting. Try daylight or cloudy instead of auto. See if that helps preserve the warm tones. You can also fine-tune it later in editing software.
And other creative ideas.
For sure. You could try framing it with an interesting silhouette, a tree, a building skyline. Or, since it's rising, a time-lapse could be really cool, showing its movement and maybe subtle color changes as it gets higher. Double exposures could be fun too, blending the moon with another scene.
Lots to play with there. It really feels like more than just looking at the moon, doesn't it? It connects back to these bigger cycles, like the standstill, and even those ancient seasonal connections.
It absolutely does. Observing it tonight, knowing it's the lowest of the year because of this 18.6-year cycle, it adds another layer. It's a reminder of the dynamic clockwork nature of the solar system, but also just a moment of pure visual beauty.
So, to wrap up, the 2025 strawberry moon on June 11th is special, mainly because it coincides with a major lunar standstill, making it the year's lowest rising full moon in the northern hemisphere.
That's the core of it, yeah.
This means it might look more reddish due to the atmosphere, appear larger due to the moon illusion, and will hug that southeast horizon just after sunset.
A unique combination of factors making it well worth stepping outside for.
It's a great example of how even something we see all the time, like the moon, can still offer these really unique, almost poetic moments.
A little bit of celestial magic happening right on schedule.
If you enjoyed this episode of Skyscope and you're hungry for more challenging, beautiful, and off-the-beaten-path objects in the night sky, make sure to subscribe to our channel.
Definitely do.
By subscribing, you won't miss a single target, tip, or opportunity to take your observing to the next level. Thanks for listening, and until next time, clear skies and steady seeing.
Clear skies.
Skyscope. Challenging targets, real observing.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel for weekly podcasts and more.
you.